Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the 10 Days of Sonic. In today's episode, I am going to tell you my favorite songs from the 16-bit Sonic games on the Mega Drive. So that doesn't include Knuckles Chaotix and Sonic CD. Anywho, let's get this video started with Sonic the Hedgehog. My favorite song in Sonic 1 is Springyard Zone. When I was a kid, Final Zone was my favorite, and at some point I really liked Starlight Zone's music the most. But now I can say that Springyard Zone is my favorite song in the entire game. I love how jazzy it sounds, and it really does fit the theme of the level. It fit the theme better in the prototype version, but still, this is my favorite song in Sonic 1. Moving on to Sonic the Hedgehog 2. My favorite song in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is it's Mystic Cave Zone 2 player. Technically, was also supposed to be Hidden Palace Zone's music. In the prototype versions, it is Hidden Palace Zone's music. And in Sonic 2, the recent mobile ports and all that is the music for Hidden Palace as well. But in the original Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Genesis slash Mega Drive, it was only used in Mystic Cave 2 player. And I love this song. So Sky Chase used to be my favorite when I was a kid, but it has since changed to Mystic Cave Zone 2 player. Moving on to Sonic 3 Alone, Ice Cap Zone, Act 1 is my favorite song in the game. And a close second is the competition music, menu music. I like both versions better in Sonic 3 and like the final version of Sonic 3 and the Genesis versions of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I should say, because both tracks were replaced in the Origins version to the inferior prototype slash PC collection themes, and I really do love Ice Cap Zone Act 1 from the Mega Drive version, and we're going with the Genesis and Mega Drive version. So, Ice Cap Zone Act 1 is my favorite song in Sonic 3. Moving on to Sonic and Knuckles, my favorite song in Sonic Knuckles Alone is Lava Reef Act 1. Act 2 is okay, but Lava Reef Act 1 is just perfect. And I do really like the remix they made for Sonic Mania as well, but I still prefer the original on the Mega Drive slash Genesis. It's such a good song, and I don't know, it doesn't really fit the level too much. I mean, it kind of does, but it reminds me of like an 80s like action film, and I guess yeah, it fits because you're running through like lava like and stuff. But Lava Reef, and especially, and this is random, Lava Reef Act 1 in mono specifically is my favorite version of the song, and that's because when I was a kid, I had a mono TV and my Genesis was hooked up to that, so I heard this song first in mono. But yeah, Lava Reef song. Act 1 is my favorite song from Sonic & Knuckles alone. As for Sonic Spinball, my favorite song is The Showdown. A lot of people probably didn't really hear this song because it is the final level's music, and this game is difficult but also kind of time consuming, so it is difficult to make it to the final level and actually beat the game, but it is such a bop. For a game that used the worst sound driver on the Genesis slash Mega Drive, the soundtrack for Sonic Spinball is top notch, but the Showdown is the best song in the game. It's got like a little hip hop beat to it, and it's really good. So this is my favorite song in Sonic Spinball. For Sonic 3 Blast, or Flicky's Island in other countries, my favorite song is Diamond Dust Zone. And yes, I prefer the Genesis slash Mega Drive original soundtrack to the Sega Saturn version. There are some songs I do like in the Saturn version, but overall, I think the Genesis has the better soundtrack. But Diamond Dust Zone is my favorite song in the game, and a close second would be Volcano Valley Act 1. And I should say, Diamond Dust Act 1 is my favorite song in Sonic 3D Flicky's Island. I love how it just perfectly sounds like a good winter theme. Now, I do have to say, though, even though I did say I prefer the overall soundtrack of the Genesis version to the Saturn version, I generally do kind of like the Saturn version of Diamond Dust Act 1 on a little bit better than the Genesis version, but I like to listen to that around Christmas time, whereas Diamond Dust Zone Act 1 on the Genesis, you can listen to that pretty much anytime, just like you could with Ice Cap Zone. So that was my favorite songs for each game released only on the Mega Drive. Anywho, finally made this music video. I've been wanting to make this one, so here we go. And this has been another episode of the 10 Days of Sonic. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell for more, and I will catch you in the next episode. You all take care.